Dolls.
Hello. We just had a little on-set drama. Mango knocked over a vase.
Mango went barreling through the set decor. He said, I don't give a fuck. And
he wanted to teach Daddy a lesson.
Yeah, he wanted to cause absolute chaos, and he did. And then whimpered in Daddy's arms afterwards.
Yes.
And he said he continues to have Carey wrapped around his finger.
I love it.
You are a sub to him.
He's so perfect. It's the light of my life. He's my best friend.
Man's best friend.
He hears me.
Orcas are starting once again.
The whales. We haven't heard from them in a minute.
I know they
been
did
quiet.
take some ships down recently. They took a couple more ships down.
That is crazy that they are literally like.
They're very smart.
They're like a navy.
They're organized.
They are organized.
They're more organized than humans are.
Didn't they? And they discovered it was like alleged. There's a theory that it was like a female orca's trauma from being run over by a boat.
Yeah, she went back and she was like, we've got to do something about these things.
But didn't it like spread out? Like they sent like a weird...
No, they're telling each other. They're very communicative, smart. They're incredible creatures.
So in SeaWorld, aka...
the seventh circle of hell.
That should be...
How are people still going to SeaWorld is my huge question. Like we all know at this point.
Went through Blackfish.
Everyone knows that SeaWorld is bad.
Is literally a prison. It's a...
The last generation that gets the SeaWorld pass is the millennial generation. Anyone after that...
We know better.
You know better. And shame on you if you're going. Also, like, what? Can't... SeaWorld's expensive.
SeaWorld is... disgusting.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
It should be swallowed into the earth.
It will be.
I hope so.
I think SeaWorld will cease to exist soon enough.
So.
Imagine being like a SeaWorld executive. Going and your job every day is to just make sure this business that tortures animals for a living continues to thrive.
Imagine going to sleep at night, laying your head down on a pillow and being like, I'm the CEO of
SeaWorld.
I'm the CEO.
Who is the CEO?
SEAO.
Who's the CEO of SeaWorld?
Mark G. Swanson.
He's worked at SeaWorld for over 20 years. He's been radicalized and brainwashed by
Big
SeaWorld.
This motherfucker?
Oh my God.
Wow.
This is a classic SeaWorld look.
Fuck you. Fuck yourself, Swanson. Look at that. Did a whale fly over his head and that's why it's missing? He's got a landing strip.
Is giving serious SeaWorld energy.
Swanson. Which one is he? There's so many guys that look exactly alike.
How much do you make as like the CEO of SeaWorld? Just
Probably
like yearly salary?
I don't think it's like I don't think it's like booming as it was in the 90s, obviously.
You probably make like mid six figures.
I'd say maybe like, he makes $2 million a year.
The estimated net worth though is like, I feel like you have to like divide that by 4, which is still, he's doing pretty good.
Or times it by 4. He owns 4,000 units of SeaWorld stock. How's the
SeaWorld
stock doing?
Trending up or down? It's up today. Today's a bull market. Do you think big drop recently.
Well, I wonder why.
SeaWorld continues to perform on the stock market.
To me, SeaWorld is like the Rainforest Cafe in terms of like, it used to be big, ubiquitous, and now it's kind of tapered off, even though Rainforest Cafe is incredible and heaven on earth.
Rainforest Cafe isn't killing animals.
No, it's just spraying you with...
Killing humans, maybe.
Spraying you with water and giving you diarrhea from ribs. But like, I'll take that over SeaWorld.
Seems like a real good time to invest in SeaWorld was like 2020.
So anyway, recently in San Antonio SeaWorld, which like, why is there a whale in San Antonio?
I think I've been to that SeaWorld. I think that's the SeaWorld that I've been to. And I also participated in a show at SeaWorld once.
Shame.
No, it was before I knew I was a child.
I'm kidding. SeaWorld, like Orlando, is land.
I can't help that I got scouted at SeaWorld and begged to perform in a show. And I said, I will do it.
You were literally the Naomi
born.
Campbell of SeaWorld.
No, they literally said, would you like to be part of this show?
Well, so
and I
what
said,
was your show?
Absolutely.
You were like one of those kids that stands
I was a kid.
And they're like on the microphone being like, okay, hold a fish out.
Yeah, and they tricked me though. They
Why?
said like, go, you're going to interact with like the beluga or I think it was a beluga. And
I love belugas.
I know. And they were like, give it a little tickle. And so I like tickled it and then it splashed me head to toe, soaked in water. And I had to walk through the rest of the day completely like soaking wet. And I was a little girl that loved like a coordinated outfit. I had the bow. I did the hairstyle.
You were not happy.
I've never felt so angry in my life. I was like betrayed by the entertainment industry.
Let's just not.
You
were, this is
They did not, that was not on the rider of like expectations. Yeah.
That's really shitty.
I didn't have an extra outfit.
Any landlocked place, because I believe San Antonio, it's not on the coast, right? It's like landlocked, like Orlando, in the middle of the state. There should not be a whale in a landlocked area. So
No.
This is
One of God's most magnificent creatures.
yeah. So a whale
Should not be sequestered to Texas.
No. So at this SeaWorld, a killer whale took a shit in the water, like sprayed Rainforest Cafe rib style, like just diarrhea, like a cloud, looked like an ink.
Let's watch
Let's
it.
watch
And then
it.
sprayed
Let's roll the tapes. Look, this is
my God.
this is
huge
intentional.
cloud shit.
Look at the kid.
He goes, I don't like this one bit. That woman's running away. Oh,
That was intentional.
wow. Orcas are so smart.
I think that was intentional.
Definitely.
Look at this horrible fucking disgusting atrium ass. What is this place? It looks like a gladiator amphitheater.
America's Coliseum.
Look, the kid.
The kid's
She's like, I'm
"Mom, let's
going.
go."
She's smart.
Mm-hmm. I can't believe that you're just allowed to keep these orcas still.
How deep is the tank? Look at that small area.
No, it's absolutely horrible.
Oh my God.
My favorite is the orca who,
Bit someone's arm off.
yeah. I like
Yeah.
it when they go truly rogue and they bite someone's arm off like mid-show and thrash them around. That feels like true raw justice is served.
The orcas at SeaWorld San Antonio are Takara, she's the matriarch, Sakari, Kamiya, Tuar, and Kayuquote. Most of the orcas were born at SeaWorld.
Born into captivity.
Except for Kayuquote, who was born in the Sealand of the Pacific in Canada.
And captured? Damn. Well, they have to have one to
No, she was born in another, or he was born in another aquatic prison.
I'm ready for
SeaWorld announced in
all.
2016 that it was ending its orca breeding program, and the orcas in its care are the last generation.
That's also dark. They're like, we're just going to let them die here.
The orca tanks
It
at
won't
SeaWorld.
take long because they get so depressed they eventually just like go belly up.
Really?
Yeah, that's like Tillicum. Well, did Tillicum kill? Tillicum killed, no?
That's kind of like the chimps. It's like Travis the chimp.
It's a bit Travis.
The orca tanks are 34 feet deep, which is not nearly deep enough to provide shade from the sun.
No, they get so depressed their fins go curve over and they just are like swimming in circles.
Like Free Willy.
Yeah.
Wasn't Free Willy, was that Shamu? Then his fin curved. That was a weird movie.
It was weird. It kind of was boring too until he was freed.
Keiko. Keiko lived more than 5 years in his Bay Sea Sanctuary, as well as out in the Atlantic waters, sometimes in the company of wild whales, and finally in Protective Cove in Norway. How long did this fucker live? Born in 1976, and then died in
Norway.
a fjord. Its name means lucky one in Japanese. Yeah, real lucky. I watched Free Willy a lot.
Yeah, I watched it too.
It was weird. Wasn't it weird?
It was like all leading up to just the moment Willie was freed.
Yeah.
Like jumping over. It just jump over. But they knew that was going to happen.
Well, yes, but it's the journey that leads you there. And then didn't Willie always come back at the end to like visit the little troubled child who's like a foster child who's like skating, and remember he's like graffitiing.
He's a troubled youth.
Troubled youth in like Vancouver.
Willie scares him
and like
straight.
Vancouver.
Willie shoves him against a wall and screams in his face.
It is scared. He like learns to appreciate life through a depressed whale.
Yeah.
And then Michael Jackson sang a song. Hold me like the rivers of
God, that song is so good. 90s Michael really slapped. The songs, I'm sorry, there were some absolute bangers.
Black or white? Does it matter?
Yeah.
Do-do-do-do-do-do. Scream with Janet.
I mean,
look,
the songs can be good. Songs can be good and have no bearing on any sort of actions.
I think
in
everyone
Europe,
here
they're
is
still really all about MJ.
really.
Oh yeah, they're play music videos. There's like a whole shrine to him in Munich.
I still hear his music out all the time here.
Yeah, but I mean,
there's a shrine to him in Munich.
Yeah, outside
in München,
like one of his favorite hotels in München.
Right, that's the hotel I think where he. Or is that Berlin? One of the hotels.
I don't think it's where he dangled, but it was like just a favorite hotel that he liked.
Did Paris, isn't she like doing movies now? Paris Jackson?
Yep, that's the thing. I don't know.
Who's bad? Wow. Well, I'm really happy that a whale was that creative and it's
me too.
fuckery.
I encourage more whales to revolt, spread the word.
Speaking of aquatic mammals, sexually frustrated dolphin attacks swimmer who thought it was going to kill him.
Is this what people like to call dolphin rape?
Yeah, aren't there always like urban legends about dolphins? Like,
I think they get horned up and then
because they fuck for fun.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh. That's scary.
This dolphin's like, get back here.
I need to share my truth of contributing to aquatic mammal imprisonment. I swam with dolphins in Cancun. So I'm just as guilty.
Like held onto their fins.
Yes, and they've pushed under my feet.
I think I've done that too. Like millennials get a pass. You don't know until you know. And then you don't do it anymore. But any Gen Z or younger that's participating in any sort of shit.
Gen Alpha, you're wrong.
Yeah.
You're wrong.
That kid in the video who's looking back at his mom.
You know better.
Guilty.
Guilty little fucker.
Yeah. You will not get away with this, sir. I
know your face and I'll remember it. When I take down SeaWorld. Someone needs to I'm going to go full 28 days later in the beginning when they come to free the monkeys. That's going to be me breaking into SeaWorld. And then I get infected with whale virus.
I like dolphins taking revenge in Japan feels really important because Japan is where they do all the do the crazy dolphin hunting type of vibes.
I mean, I remember, I've talked about it before, but I'll never forget Whale Wars. That show.
Oh, yeah.
They were essentially pirates. And they were basically hurling catapults at these whaling boats and fucking with them. And it was incredible. They were fully going to war with these people. Mm-hmm. And I was almost to a point where I was I would do this.
I think everyone should join the fight. I love animals fighting back. But I also love people who take up the fight on behalf of animals, who would fight to the defense of animals before they would jump to the defense of humans.
Yeah.
That's a special kind of person, but I appreciate that they exist.
I mean, But
I would encourage at this point, at this stage in the game, I think animals need to really take up the fight themselves.
We have bigger
Unfortunately,
we're
gonna need to redirect.
Or we have bigger things happening but I support all killer whales destroying ships and sinking people.
100. I also am looking forward to one of these days getting like so up close and personal with killer whales.
No, you have fun with that.
And I will. They're spiritual beings, like almost a touch.
We're not meant to touch them.
Says
We're
who?
not meant to go near them. We're not meant to go. They are. I believe they're spiritual beings, but they are like the way they are to me is you do you. I respect you.
I'm not trying to intrude. I'm just saying I'm also here.
You want them to look at you.
I want them to behold me. I want us to be in each other's orbit and have a mutual understanding.
Well, there was that Apple TV show where like Meryl Streep is the voice of a whale. And she talks to, what's her face? Sienna Miller.
Like a Disney show?
No, it's called Projections or Extrapolations. And it's about like climate change and over the next 100 years. And every episode's like a new crop of people in another decade. And in one, Sienna Miller develops a software where she can talk about whales. She can talk to whales who are dying from warming oceans. And then the last whale on Earth is Meryl Streep.
Wow.
And she's like talking to her and she's
Michael
like,
Gandolfini was in
serving
this?
cunt. Everyone's in this show.
God, I never heard of this show. Interesting.
Matthew Rhys.
Your favorite?
Matthew Rhys. And that girl from who's in every show. Isa Gonzalez.
Mm-hmm.
Did we talk about... Did you watch... Speaking of an ensemble movie, did you watch Blink Twice?
I did.
What'd you think?
I thought...
I had to turn it off.
It was
Not because it was bad, because it was upsetting me.
It was a swing... Ultimately a swing and a miss, I think, but a swing nonetheless.
I appreciate it. I thought it was bold.
It tried to do something. And
I love Naomi Aki, the lead.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was like not that great. And then there's like just a brutal scene of like
that's when I was like
that feels.
Oh no, I did watch the whole thing. I turned it. I had to break it up because that scene, I really was like, I get it. It's hard.
Yeah, it also had a lot of logic things.
I just didn't need to see that.
It just felt very like a Nepo baby makes a movie and this is what you get. And at least it was like kind of interesting, but ultimately doesn't move the needle one way or the other. Right? I mean, I didn't like...
No, that one scene, I was like, good God. I was like, I went like this.
Yeah, it was like Aunt Sassy for me. I was like, I don't need to see that.
I was truly...
You could really have just done it with like
you could just
sounds or inferred.
Inferred!
Yeah. Maybe watch a Michael Haneke movie, do a little research on
off-camera
horror, and then like circle back to your big directorial debut.
But I went like this. And I'm like, I guess I'm part of the problem because I don't want to see it, but I'm also just like, I don't want to see it. I respect to you all.
Yeah, it just wasn't.
I know it happens.
Just wasn't that great.
She was really starting.
Yeah.
Gina Davis was.
She was also.
She was channeling something. I don't know what it was.
I think the direction of actors was not so great. Because to me, Naomi Aki, like she was interesting to watch, but she was also like unhinged at times. But then I guess now I understand why she was unhinged.
Yeah, she was like dealing with like some stuff.
But it was also like,
I know what you mean.
Let's get a grip here. Let's everyone get a grip. It was ultimately a nothing.
I wonder if they'll ever do a movie about Epstein.
I think that was the movie.
That's as good as we're going to get? Because I feel like no one in Hollywood wants to do it because half of them were probably went to the island.
Yeah, I think that you're going to have to wait like 10 to 15 years.
It'd be interesting.
But also, like, what do you want to see?
I don't want to see, like, I just want to, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm sick, but I want to watch, like, Rosamund Pike play Ghislaine.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe you need to write it.
It's not my story to tell.
Well, then I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, when you're the CEO of...
Yeah.
When you take over Hollywood and call it and rename it...
Well, I'll say you need to write it, so then you'll have to just decide if it's your story to tell or not.
Yeah.
And I guess we'll just have to put a price on it and see what price point you decide it is your story to tell, after all.
True.
A brain dead organ donor woke up on the operating table.
Haunting video. This is some Sam Raimi shit. Imagine you're going into the table to be emptied of your organs, and everyone's like, "What a brave person."
Well, this is also why there were some years where I didn't decide to be an organ donor.
In case you woke up on the operating table?
No, just because, like, what if they don't try as hard to, like, bring you back to life? Because they're like, oh, well, someone else could use these organs, so, like, we're just going to let her go.
I mean...
But now then it's like, oh, this bitch is not an organ donor, but a bad person. Let's let her go. You really can't trust anyone.
You think there's going to be some, like, black market, like the movie Comas...
Of what?
Like black market organ trading?
No, just saying people like judging for not organ donating.
Oh, wait, let's see.
Tones.
It's like an old-fashioned horn honking off screen. This is like giving like...
They do this. This is Grey's Anatomy, kind of.
Where people line up to clap.
Yeah, they line up.
Is that what they were doing with that woman on the show?
Well, they were just lining up to be like...
Supporting her?
Yeah.
They line up to be like, thank you.
Yeah, I'm like, this person does not know you're doing this, by the way.
Is he on... So he's like...
He or she
is like going into the earth after this.
They're brain dead, so they're already basically dead.
Yeah. But if they just start doing it here?
Oh, this is sad.
Well, I think it becomes less sad because they wake up. That hospital cough.
So everyone says bye to you, and you get one final moment of valor. And then some chatter happens. Well, where's the wake up?
Yeah, where's the wake up? I want them to go, is this it? That's it? She doesn't actually wake up?
No, that was...
Oh, it happened on the table. Okay.
So this 36-year-old guy was being honor walked into the OR.
In Kentucky.
Which is the video we just watched, which felt very much like, I'm not meant to see this, yet I'm seeing it anyways. As I like shit on him, saw his like loved ones like kissing him and being sad, and I was like, oh, this is too real for me. So honor walked TJ, but then they got him on the operating table, and he said, think again.
36 years old, that's young.
Yeah. Oh.
He was hospitalized after an overdose. He wasn't dead at all. Moments later, he began trying his pulling his own teeth out after waking up on the operating table as surgery began. What?
Okay, honestly, kill him on site.
He's a zombie.
Nope, you gotta kill him on site. Stab him right through the fucking heart with a scalpel.
The hospital. Wait. Sorry, can you go down?
They were told that they had no reflexes. He's 36.
He's up and at him.
Wait.
Well, yeah. I mean,
he's a Kentucky 36, which means you look about 59.
We had his honor walk, but almost as soon as his honor walk started, his eyes started to open, and not just open, he was checking around looking to see what was going on. We were told that was just reflexes, just normal instinct, and he's not there. Oh my God. So after he opened his eyes and was looking around, they were like, he's fine. That makes me think the conspiracy.
This is why you should not be an organ donor.
But once at the surgical table, Hoover started thrashing around, crying, and trying to pull his teeth out as surgeons began to harvest his body. Prepared to harvest his body parts. He was crying visibly. Wow.
Oh.
What if they were like, they put like a thing to stop his heart?
Miller said that when her colleague called CODA, which had coordinated the transplant, the supervisor told them they were, quote, going to do this case anyway, and the hospital needed to find another doctor. I'm telling you right now, I am calling the driver's license bureau and saying,
oh my, wait, can we go down? Sorry.
Check the box.
Ultimately, the organ retrieval was canceled and several employees quit in the aftermath. Roar says her brother has had issues with his memory, walking and talking ever since, and he has had to become his legal guardian.
Oof.
I do feel angry. I feel betrayed by the fact that the people were telling us that he was brain dead and then he wakes up. They were trying to play God. I mean, I think this is like probably a very rare case, and it is. Most hospitals are probably like very valiant in their. But we're doing it anyway.
Go through with it.
That's America.
No one is winning in this situation. There's not one person that comes out a winner.
Wow. I mean, he's up and at him.
36.
I mean, he probably was in like the grips of opioid abuse.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he and I have the same shirt. Carhartt. He was Brat before Brat was.
I know.
He was kind of Brat for that.
This is just extremely Brat to wake up during your donor harvesting and start pulling your teeth out.
I'm obsessed with, well, we're going to do it anyway.
I don't know. No one wins. What if you're the person that then gets stuck being his guardian forever?
His sis? Yeah, my sister would be like, fuck. I've already got 3 kids. I mean, I'd rather them be alive.
Yeah, but you would rather be a guardian.
I don't know how I would feel if I was like, yeah,
I wouldn't want to be making the call. I wouldn't want to be making the call.
You'd sit in the back row like this.
I go, it's really.
Well, you're the eldest.
No, but I'd go, it's really up to you guys.
Yeah, but you're the oldest sib. So if it's
well, then you have to say, I guess, get them off the fucking table and like, I'll take them.
Take him to LA.
You just look at the doctors and you're like, really? You go, thank you. Thanks so much.
This is crazy. This is America. I love it.
This is very America.
Mm-hmm.
Because also, how much does it cost to get like an organ transplant? Probably like $400,000.
Doesn't your insurance cover it?
Girl, I'm sure your insurance covers like a portion of it, but I'm sure you still have to pay. You're going to have to max out your like deductible. And that depends on what kind of insurance you have. So some people.
Bone marrow is $475,000. $471,000.
Whoa, look at that. I was kind of right.
A heart transplant is $1 million.
Yeah, babe. No surgery is like going to be cheap. Wow. Your baseline
cornea transplant.
Baseline starting at 400, almost 450K to get any sort of organ transplant.
This is sick.
So in that case, like if I'm that guy, I'm kind of like, kill me. If I'm pulling my teeth out, waking up, I'm brain dead. I'm like, finish what you started and do it quick. Because if you don't have insurance, you pay for all of that. I'm not
No, I think
Not
the
one to
recipient is paying
make a
for
big-
it, right? The recipient is paying for the...
Oh, yeah. But even if you wake up, I mean, if you wake up on the table after being in the hospital, being brain dead, and then going through all that, then you have to like recover from waking up. You're adding like way more money. But
that is crazy.
You know what, actually?
What?
I think there is a winner in all of this because your family now gets to sue the hospital and then you have actually won.
Wait.
So you do need the brother to stay alive.
But what are the odds of like in that exact moment?
This is akin to winning the lottery for these people. Is that now they get the opportunity, the American opportunity to sue the hospital. And I think you could probably squeeze like 20 mil.
How did remember in like the Black Plague era, didn't they used to like bury people with like bells in case they woke up?
Mm-hmm.
Like that, that's like giving that. Like, we don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding. You know?
Maybe give it like another hour or so.
Yeah, like a rushed
or
burial.
Just poke a needle to the foot.
Well, back then you just put them in a crypt. You could just wake up. Hello?
Yeah. You really do win. If a hospital does mess up and tries to harvest your organs while you're very much still alive, you may think you've lost, but really, you've hit the jackpot.
Have you seen the movie Comas?
No.
It's about this young female doctor who uncovers this hospital that she's working at is putting people in comas and then selling their organs. And it's like, there's like a part where there's like a famous scene where she walks into a room and all these patients are hanging from the ceiling in suspension and they're all in comas. And she like stumbles on it.
Whoa.
Freaky.
Not a good thing to stumble onto.
Because I remember that because when I was a kid, we used to go to this Christmas tree farm and they would hang their Christmas trees from the ceiling and they would kind of sway. My dad goes, my mom
upside down?
No, like like upright. My mom said it's like comas. And I was like, what's that? She told me.
That's scary.
I know, it was a little scary.
Why would you do that with a Christmas tree?
I don't know.
That's strange. I don't like it at all. At all.
Anyway, we're going to talk about
these fucking comatose
these organ
ladies.
donors.
Yeah.
I'm Carrie.
I'm Lara.
And you're listening to Sexy Unique Podcast.
Comas.
O.C.U.N.T.S.
O.C.O.M.A.S.
C-O-M-A-S for life. So we're in London town. It's raining in London town. Things are going really well, as we know, for these women. We come up on a very strange, like, fake reality TV song going, God save the king, and guess what? That king is me.
I was like, God save the king. It's always been God save the queen. But then I realized we have a king now. I always forget about him.
We have a flop king. God save the king. King Charles is in Australia right now, and he got heckled by a senator who said, get off our land.
Down under.
I thought that was, but I was also like, Australia stole land from.
I always forget about King Charles.
Yeah, what's to remember? He's a fucking flop.
Shannon is still pissed at Tamra.
I wrote Heather and Tamra's fake ass friendship makes me sick.
Yeah, it's a farce.
This alliance is a farce, and I know that they know that we all know.
Yeah.
And it's fake, and they hate each other.
They hate each other, but they also realize that if they don't have each other's backs, then they have nothing. So they have no choice but to become allies.
Yeah, because Tamra doesn't really have any, like,
everyone's
close.
over Tamra.
Yeah, everyone's over her ass.
Wait,
Emily?
We also never talked about Tamra coming out as autistic.
Tamra, last week on her show, 2 T's.
2 T's and a P. 2 T's in a pod with the Teddy Mellencamp. Noted, hilarious, charismatic,
noted
hilarious comedian.
Teddy Mellencamp. Tamra goes, they record it on Zoom because they live in different countries. OC in LA.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. And Tamra goes, that was a really bad joke. Thank you, Lara.
I literally thought.
Could have just rolled with me and been like.
I thought for a second, did one of them leave the country?
I think it's weird that they record on Zoom.
Well, you never know.
But she goes, I went to my first therapy session today. And there's a pause and she goes, I am on the spectrum. And Teddy goes, wow. And it's the only time I've ever related to Teddy. Teddy goes, oh, wow.
I'm pretty sure. Okay, number one, there is like a true pandemic of white women in particular who love nothing more than coming out as being on the spectrum. This is like a trend. I've been noticing. Honey, I've been noticing. This has been at least 2 years of these types of shenanigans.
It's
Number
like
one.
moving away from like fake TikTok Tourette's to...
It's now like a very...
Interesting.
I think open up your eyes, take a look around, and you'll see many white... Open your third eye.
My third eye's open.
And it will behold many a white woman loving nothing more than to come out as being on the spectrum. It's like the white woman's new favorite thing.
Okay,
it's trending upwards. No, it is trending upwards because now Tamra is doing it too.
So Tamra explained that she went to one therapy appointment,
which also I have to say, you're not gonna get like diagnosed as being on the autism spectrum after one therapy appointment.
Isn't it like 3? They have to like before they diagnose you, they have to go through like. And that's
I think it's a longer process, much longer. Like
I am on the spectrum.
But this was also
what?
Number 3, something that I on the pod had advised Ramona Singer to do when she was going through all this backlash. I said she needs to come out as being autistic and this would solve all her problems. So then now we have a Real Housewife that's doing that. So at least someone did try and take my advice, though it wasn't the right person. I do think you could make a case for Ramona Singer. If Ramona came out and said, I'm autistic,
I think
you would
Ramona's
believe
just
her.
Flat out racist,
But you would also be like, like, maybe she is.
Not with Ramona. Tamra, this is cracking me up because
You think Tamra's on the spectrum?
No. I'm just going into what I'm about to say about Tamra.
Oh, okay.
What I love about this is like, and then she followed, obviously it went viral. People were like, now it's like a meme. People are like making fun of it. Everyone's like, that's not true. Or like, you can't say that after one session. She then posted the next day, I should have been more clear. Like I described some traits and the therapist described them back to me as like, this could be something related to like being on the spectrum. So she didn't definitively tell Tamra that she's on the spectrum.
No, of course
Tamra,
not.
Literally, she said, I went 15 minutes after the therapy, I went on this pod. And I'm like, girl, take a beat. And she said, maybe I'm going to like go through this experience in private. Good. But now it's too late because she's already announced to the world.
Autist.
She's an autist. But it's really wild to me that she's looking for an angle.
White women are obsessed with being autistic. It's what they crave. It's what they want. I'm telling you right now, it is.
But to me, the definitive, like, I am on the spectrum. And she says it like she can't believe what she's saying.
She probably can't. She's like, I never thought this before.
It's unbelievable. Like she went straight from her one meeting, like a preliminary, like getting to know you therapy session where it's basically like a rubric read.
Like, can we work together? Do we have a good enough vibe?
Going through like what's the first week
Tamra's
of college?
Like, so what are you coming in for?
Syllabus.
She's like, well, I'm a bitch to everyone. Everyone hates me. They say I say things that are really cruel and mean.
I have little to no emotion.
And I barely show emotion. What do you think, Doc? They go, well,
it's a few things.
You could have a raging personality disorder. You could be narcissistic, or these things could be indicative of someone who's on the spectrum.
And
she said,
I like that.
There we go.
There we go.
I gotta go. I gotta run. I have a podcast to record.
I have to go tell Teddy Mellencamp that I'm an autist.
And
unbelievable.
The world, yeah, it's unbelievable.
And it's also just like so.
Tamra's really been on a roller coaster.
Autistic, or people like they're probably like, what?
They probably don't care, but
yeah, they're really.
I mean, let's get real. They don't care unless they're specific, like autism. obsession is Real Housewives,
That's true.
and that they probably do care.
I'm just saying it's definitely it's very Tamra to like make it about her.
No, I'm telling you. I'm telling you right now.
Okay, I'm gonna look. I'm gonna investigate.
Girl, start investigating because
that my TikTok is about to be.
It is. It's a woman's world.
Okay.
It's a white woman autist world.
Someone messaged me Katy Perry's personal videos from the Brat tour, and I swear you can see me or Simon like in the background in like a split second.
Wait, show.
I'll find it and I'll post it.
Okay.
It's very
like from her TikTok or something.
She posted on, I think it was like her stories or something, but I don't know if it's me, but like we're right there. Like we're the next.
Yeah.
So like we have to be somewhere
in the mix.
And I swear it looked like Simon or me.
Wait, I want to see.
But it was like a flicker. I think that's me. I think next, do you see to the right of that? I mean, it has to, it's literally like where our row was.
Yeah. Now, I wish we could go frame by frame, Zapruder film. Well.
Yeah, anyway.
It probably is.
It's proof.
Proof of what? That you were there?
No, I'm kidding. Like proof that we were next to Miss Purry.
Mm-hmm. Tamra and Katie go lay on like a spa rock.
Emily looks incredible, by the way, at breakfast with Shannon.
Yeah, Emily is a stone cold fox.
I wanted to lay on that rock.
I know, it looked comfy.
They like never leave the Londoner hotel.
This trip to London, can I be honest, really darks me out.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's a really strange trip. It's like they're not doing any sort of real London things.
No
I feel like
culture.
they're going there for 36 hours tops.
They're literally like in Piccadilly Circus.
It was no culture. They're being embarrassing American
being, like,
pigs the entire time.
They're wearing like capes and like being hoydens. And
they are being incredibly hoyden.
Yeah, like why don't you go to like Westminster Abbey or go
do one thing.
Go to the National Gallery.
Katie is asking the hard-hitting questions, which is why would Shannon get plastic surgery if she's so hard up for cash? And Tamra says that Shannon lives way beyond her means.
She said she throws money around like she's a multimillionaire and she's not. And Katie goes, I mean, I get it. I've been there as a single mother. And Tamra goes, you're not 60. And Katie goes, you're right. I was 29.
This really darks me out because like no one prepares women for like retirement. And like as a woman, your opportunities for employment get so thinned the fuck out the older you get.
By like age, like.
I mean, by like age 45, you're literally like, people are like, get out of my sight, old crone, go die in a ditch. And like, you have to be, so many women go like homeless in their 60s.
I'm not laughing.
No, I know you're not. No one thinks you're laughing at like old homeless
I'm just
women.
laughing, go away, old crone.
No, you're literally like, can I get a job? And they're like, you're disgusting. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh.
And many women
go homeless.
Get in such deep financial dire straits by the time retirement hits, if they've even planned for retirement, and like have such a way huger risk of being homeless in their retirement years. And that is something, that fact, when I read like Susie Orman's Women and Money, that literally
it's shocking.
Scared me straight.
It's should not be happening.
And the fact that like, I don't think that that's going to happen to Shannon, but you also never know. You need to be really careful as a woman to save a lot of money and like not fall prey to needing to get plastic surgery, because you could turn 55 and never work again. And then what?
Yeah. I mean, I was just listening to, I was listening to this thing about Vegas, like used to be like you could afford a home so easily. And now it's like, no one can even afford a home anymore, and people are going like homeless in Vegas. Like it's happening to younger and younger people. So like to be a woman,
To be a woman, and especially if you get out of the workforce to raise your kids, because it's like makes more sense than hiring childcare.
Right.
But then you're out of the workforce for what, like 18 years or a huge chunk of
And then
time.
you come back.
You have less chance of getting like rehired. It's harder for you to re-enter. And then also, since you haven't been making any income and being able to save and put towards retirement, you're then behind a lot of other people.
Does David Beador still have money? Because like their daughters.
But you don't get money after your daughters.
Well, no, but I just
out.
mean like in the divorce, did she get like a chunk sum? Because I mean, their daughter's able to like live in Paris. Like clearly she's not working.
Yeah, but I mean, that's his money.
Yeah.
Like she probably got child support until her daughters turn 18. But then once that dries up, if you're spending, either way, if you spend more than you make, you're in the red. You have no money because you're living beyond your means.
She is like, this is a lavish vacation. It's just not helping her case about like, it is, the one thing I agree with Tamra on is like, none of this helps her case. With like, I can't afford to pay him. Don't say that. Just say, on principle, I'm not paying this fucker. Don't be like, I'm doing it because I'm broke. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or
like,
really commit to the bit and then be broke. But we all know that you're not. And you also said it was a loan. So just something ain't adding up.
Gina talks about like moving back to Manhattan or like missing Manhattan. And Jen's like, I feel like you'd be perfect there. I'm like, Gina, move to New York.
Gina should move to New York.
She would thrive.
She's a Long Island girl at heart.
I like want her to get out.
Emily knows that Shannon has the receipts about.
Well, Heather comes into the room and she gets right in Shannon's face and she goes, I really wanted to come work it out with you.
I don't like how things went down.
I don't like how things. And Shannon's sitting there going, I don't want to talk to you.
Why should I get on a bus? So then Heather feels like she gets blamed for everything, and
victim.
Shannon told Heather, this whole thing is like Shannon told Heather her secret and was like, don't tell anyone, but she did it on camera.
She's told several people her secrets. She tells everyone. Like she'll tell like the woman at Backyard Expressions her secrets. She's not like, she's someone that tells everyone
the
everything.
Entire staff at Backyard Expressions.
The entire region of Southern California knows about her secrets.
Corporate headquarters at Backyard Expressions now has like weekly board meetings about Shannon's secrets.
Joe Biden is kept up to date in like staff meetings. The one thing he's like cognizant of is like, oh, Shannon, how's our girl doing? That
will be asked about in the next debate. If there were a next debate, it would be about Shannon's secrets. Yeah.
So she goes, I have the receipts to prove that I paid for everything. So she runs to the other room and like you're thinking she's gonna come out with like an iPad or like a laptop with like a spreadsheet or a binder. She comes out with a wad of papers and like crumpled up, basically like hotel notepads.
Heather goes, did you ever just think to pay him and then it would all die down and go away? And Shannon goes, you know what? Let me go get my papers. And then Heather to Emily, she goes, she's like my mom with the papers. And I was like, she is like a mom with the papers.
But she's bringing them internationally?
Her slips.
Yeah, she is so unwell.
Yeah, she's really...
This is sick. Like,
I'm telling you, she has the aura and the energy of a woman who could be homeless eventually if she doesn't get her fucking shit together.
Emily and Heather were both genuinely disturbed. And Heather, like, who's trolling Shannon, like, I think she was even like, this is scary.
When a woman is in a place of let me get my papers.
No, I'll show you. Look, I paid for $683 family dinners.
And she goes, see, here's the total, $60,000 because of her papers. They're not even receipts.
No, it's not receipts. It's literally
her papers, her scribbles.
She could have just made it up on her own. It's so strange. This is so bizarre.
This is Nana behavior.
It's Nana behavior. And you're traveling first class, JetBlue Mint to the Londoner. You're traveling overseas, Dole.
Those papers.
With papers.
In your carry-on.
Like, what if you make sure to don't forget my passport or my papers. And not her visas. Not like work visas, not papers.
From a 2-year relationship, it's unhinged.
Gina tells Jenn that Heather was. So they all got on a bus.
Well, Gina and Jenn are dipping their little toesies in the pool still.
Jenn tells Gina that Heather was talking about how much Jen's Dolce & Gabbana dress from the tea party was because she saw it at a store and it was $2,000. So she was like, how is this woman affording this when she's saying she's broke?
Yeah. I love the money talk. I think it's like very fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
I like to know what people's... Because I also have the same question.
It is. I mean, it's interesting. Like, it is kind of like, why are you telling us one thing and wearing? Like, it's annoying.
Yeah. And it's just like you're spending money on glam, you're spending money on this dress, and maybe Ryan's paying for it, but also like your boyfriend is being investigated by the FBI. So this house of cards could come crashing down any minute. And then where are you in all this? But now everyone agrees Tamra runs her mouth about everyone and she'll turn on a dime.
So Ryan's the tea is that Ryan's the tea.
You're like that gay podcaster.
I'm Adam, whoever his name is.
Is that Wookie's? Does she have a podcast with him?
No, that's who Whitney called.
But doesn't he have a podcast? Is he a podcaster or he's just some gay?
He has a podcast called, I think there's a podcast called Up and Adam.
But does that guy podcast with Wookie?
I think he just had her on. I don't know.
I think she's like on it. I don't know.
Flying too close to the sun for me. But the tea is that...
Tell us the tea, sis. You're carried on with the tea.
Ryan's business partner is a bookie for who God knows who. And Ryan and Jenn always have to fly to the Bahamas to gamble at those casinos.
Girl.
And the casinos send the private planes for them to travel on. So I guess he's a bookie for the casinos or like some kind of crime syndicate, allegedly. Like, I don't know what.
But doesn't a bookie they lend money to people?
It's a little like, feels a little like loan shark vibe. I don't know what the deal is. But a bookie to me is, from what I remember in like pop culture, a bookie feels like mob.
I'm Googling it.
Right? Isn't a bookie kind of like...
I thought a bookie was someone that lends money to gamblers, but then expects it back and then some.
Yeah, and they like intimidate and...
This is not helpful. I Googled what's a bookie and it said a bookmaker.
A person who determines gambling odds.
And they receive and pay off bets.
Okay.
So they're like a middleman. They're handling a lot of dough.
It just feels a little seedy.
I would say...
And that they're going to the Bahamas every few weeks, like that's a little weird.
If you're traveling via private jet to only Vegas and the Bahamas multiple times a week,
and doesn't
you're
the Bahamas
seedy.
have like offshore accounts?
I think so.
Yeah. So they all assemble downstairs. Shannon's wearing a tiara. This whole like Duchess thing, it's giving
It's Nana.
Sexless Teletubby.
No sex having Teletubby Nana. It's geriatric Teletubby.
She goes, I'm the Duchess of Corona del Mar. I'm like, we know. Lose the crown, lose the cape. She makes all the women be her ladies in waiting.
This isn't even like a fun, like, can't they go to Harrods?
Yeah, go have tea.
Can they go have tea at Claridge's? I know you probably can't film in there, but like, where's the glamour?
Go get a tour of like Kensington Palace or like Buckingham Palace. I don't know. Like
go have a tea part. Like go have high tea.
So weird.
It's very strange.
Instead, they get on a double-decker bus and they just scream at British people.
Embarrassing.
Remember when she goes, we're from America! Tamra takes a selfie with Big Ben that made me laugh so hard. It's just her going... For some reason, her face was...
It killed me, too.
It was so hot. And they just start screaming... It's just like everyone can see. It looks kind of cold. It just like this looks like I would be mortified.
You have a cold face.
I'd be mortified.
Yeah.
I'd be mortified.
I'd be like this.
I'd go
like this.
Like I remember when I was in London in 2010 and there was always like a red alert for like a terrorist attack. Mm-hmm. And there was a day where they emailed everyone, all the Americans in my program and said, don't go into central London today.
Damn.
And don't wear, and if you do, don't wear like Nikes. But I'm like, these are the kind of people they're talking about who are just like, ah!
Gina's like, I'll bring up something interesting. Heather.
Heather.
She brings up mammogram gate And she's like, why are you mad?
She goes, I'm feeling really bad about the mammogram thing. And then she goes, why didn't you say anything to us? I mean, come on. If you're like scared, like you should have told us going into it. Like, what's going on? And Heather's like, well, the family history of cancer, it's in my family's history and it's their story to share. It's not mine. I'm like, oh, that's
fucking rich.
Shit.
Rich.
What the I
can't talk about my family's history. That's their personal medical information. But I can talk about my own. Shut the fuck
down.
up. Shut the fuck up.
Well, I don't know. I mean, if you want to come in and you're like scared about it, like, why didn't you come in and like talk to us about it? Like, I don't understand it. And she goes, Gina, you know what? I was upset. No one asked me what happened. And they go, we heard clapping. And she goes, right. But none of you asked. None of you turned to me and said, what happened in there? And I was offended. I'm allowed to be upset.
She goes, and that was the moment. And I can't take it back. At moment, it is what it is. It is that moment forever, unfortunately. It's like, okay, Heather. Then Gina's like, well, you're a bitch because you went on What Happens Live. And Andy,
I'm breaking the fourth wall.
And Andy asked a question about whose house would get the least amount of money. And he was like, whose house would get the worst offer? And he goes, my guess would be Gina's.
I know. I was like, I love Gina talking about Andy Cohen directly, which I was like, whoa.
I know. Watch out, girl.
And then Heather didn't. She went, well, I haven't seen everyone's homes. So that was, she was sort of agreeing.
I mean, I was with her. What's she supposed to say?
Yeah, but also Heather is like, you're not going to win with, she's truly incapable of taking accountability.
She won't do it.
So don't try with her. And I respect Gina for just throwing it all out there. Gina, girl, I respect you for just throwing it all out there, but you're never going to get what you want.
No.
Why don't you just say it? You're sitting on the couch with Andy Cohen just like talking about my house and like, what the fuck? You didn't say anything.
If Emily had been there, she would have said something.
She goes, I would have said something.
I know Emily would have said something. She is a ride or die for her. I would have said something.
And then they all split up and Gina, Emily, and Jenn go to Camden Town and they get like fish and chips.
Those fries look good as fuck.
And then Heather and Tamra and Katie go to where the Queen would get her chocolate. I think it's near like Oxford Street. It looked really good.
It did look good. And then they're like trying truffles and stuff. And Heather goes, has Princess Kate been in? And I wanted to be like, no, bitch. You think she eats chocolate? Like, get the fuck out of here.
The woman goes, not since she became a more senior member of the royal family. I'm like, yeah, she's going to be the queen. She's not going to go into a store.
She doesn't like set foot on the street.
She's going to go to an AI version of her might go to a fake Christmas tree place. Mm-hmm. And like her face might distort. But like, that's about it. And then Shannon's just shrieking at some guy like working his ass off. I'm the Duchess of Corona.
They're terrorizing like immigrants that came to London to just like
goddamn best.
Make a honest dollar doing fries.
He's like, I don't know I don't even know what you're talking about.
Then they do something that is worthwhile, an old timey photo shoot.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm gonna take a stand here.
Oh,
the context of when we did an old timey photo shoot was right. That's the place you do it, at the Mall of America. When you're in England, I don't think you do it there. I'm just gonna say that.
No, but England does have Tudor. The like Elizabethan outfits.
Shannon goes, let's do Tudor. I want to do the Tudor. Let's do Tudor.
But what I didn't like is that they didn't use the actual old-timey photos. Like everyone was too cheap to buy them and put them on, so they did like just still photography from Bravo. I want to see the old-timey looking photos.
Yeah, what? All these women's finances, I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Except Heather, but even we don't know.
Yeah, what is tied up in escrow, you know? How liquid are they? That's the question. I'm really worried about Jenn.
I am too. But I'm proud of her
really
for what
worried.
she did in this episode.
She did find her voice, but her voice isn't going to pay the bills. She did go to work this episode. Actually, maybe her voice will pay the bills.
Tamra,
she's got to get out of that relationship.
She's going to get another season. Unless she goes to jail. Tamra makes a January 6th joke to Heather. And then I was imagining Heather. I was imagining a hypothetical reality where Heather was secretly at the insurrection. like leading the charge. Wait,
Heather would get in there.
I don't watch the morning show, but I was told that there was an insurrection moment.
There is, right? With Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah, and so I went to the specific episode just to watch that scene, and it's literally they recreate the insurrection, and Reese Witherspoon's wearing a ski mask, reporting with the cell phone.
No,
and she's calling her friend, going, "I'm going underground," and like she's in the
insurrection,
she's in the Capitol.
No,
filming, looking, and people are going like, "Down with, stop the steal." I was like, holy! I was like, it's been a year, and they're like I was like, this is wild. And then her brother's there. She like runs into him. He's there insurrecting.
Did she tell on him?
I didn't see anything else. So I don't know what. I just wanted to watch. It was like 2 minutes, but it was like they fully recreated the insurrection.
They're out here making movie magic on the morning show.
I was like, she's been to space, I hear. Her character goes to space
on the morning
told.
show?
Yeah. And she was in Jan 6. She's doing it all.
I don't know one person who watches the morning show.
I think a lot of people watch it.
I know. But where are they?
I know people who watch it. I think out of irony, but they watch it. But
are you watching Disclaimer?
No, not yet.
I watched the first 2 episodes. I really liked it. I mean, I don't think that you can turn me off of a Cate Blanchett.
A joint.
Anything.
Is it Alfonso Cuarón?
Yeah.
All right, I'll watch.
I like it. They live in a really nice flat.
Was it in London? Chic. Okay.
They live in a chic house.
Okay, I just want to watch rich people.
Yeah, you're.
I need to just see rich people in shambles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She's shambling. The gang goes to Sketch Restaurant.
Shannon is unable to think about anyone but herself.
And Belvedere soda.
Jenn brings up that Heather was inquiring about her D&G dress, and Shannon just immediately makes it about her. I'm like, you're talking to Aunt Sassy. She's not going to give you what, like, these people, no one will give you what you want. Heather won't apologize.
No.
And Shannon won't be like, let's talk about you. Mm-mm. So you just you can't.
Can I just say also...
Jenn mentions the dress, and Shannon's first response is, don't talk about me! She's succumbing to...
Nana.
Yeah.
Vodka sodas are a beverage that only in alcoholic drinks. Right?
Like gin and tonic.
But even a gin and tonic is like...
sexy.
More festive, more sexy.
Yeah, but...
vodka soda is like... You just want to drink... It's like...
Yeah.
You're a true alcoholic.
Yeah. Belvedere and
soda.
All the Belvedere and soda.
Shannon asked Tamra about the text that she sent her from I love Shannon spent her birthday weekend in London unearthing texts from 2018 and texting screenshots of them to Tamra to be like, remember this?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, what do you think about that text? And Tamra's like, basically like, I don't care. And keeps going, bye, 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 bye. And Shannon goes, don't you put your hands up in my direction.
Don't put your hands up in my face.
Also, at one point, Jenn is also there, and she's like, why are you talking about me and designer clothes? She goes, Heather, you're always wearing designer clothes. And then Tamra goes, well, she has money. Which I was like, okay, damn.
Yeah, I was like, Jenn, come on, honey.
I was like,
poor sweet dum-dum Jenn.
I'll give you that. That was good, Tamra.
Jenn's going to have to maybe lose everything and then rebuild. I don't want her to
lose everything.
I don't want that either, but I just don't.
Yeah, I know
she's
what you
not
mean.
putting it together.
Shannon goes, Tamra, she goes, oh, you're so very cruel. And Tamra goes, oh, shut up.
Tamra goes, bye. Bye-bye. And Shannon goes, this is my trip. You bye. And then gets up and runs away. And they go, Shannon, don't go. And she goes, I'm going to the bathroom.
She goes to get Belvedere soda.
I know.
And then they all
go.
They all kind of like, they all do a thing where they sex their husbands or partners to see who will send back, like who gets first.
And Tamra immediately goes, Eddie texted me.
Bet he did.
I went the House of Cards. I see right through it. And Shannon's the only one who doesn't have a man. So she goes, after everyone like is like, ha, like they, you know, my man is texting me back. Shannon goes, well, okay, I'm going to bed.
She goes, my girls are coming tomorrow morning. I'm so tired.
I'm so tired.
I gotta go. I'm gonna go. Someone should sit here though. On her like little toadstool. I was like, get the fuck out of here.
She goes full Aunt Sassy again.
She does. She goes, have fun.
And they go, oh, Shannon, we didn't mean to exclude you.
And she goes and takes off. Imagine filming Shannon Beador as she like marches up to her room solo and you have to film her
Just
sit
muttering.
on her bed. Just, I don't even think I think she's nonverbal at this moment. She's just like
She was like this.
sadly taking off her heels. And you have to stand there being like.
And in the background you hear, doo, 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 doo. She's
like just sitting on the edge of her bed.
I saw several people remind me that England is part of Europe. I just meant it's not in the European Union. So I fucked up. Sorry to the Brits. People said misinformation strikes again. I meant that they're not in the European Union.
Okay.
I didn't care. I didn't know what it was part of. Didn't care.
That's just Shannon just sitting with the lights, very like industry, like the lights of the city in the background.
The next day, we know that she's continued to be unwell because she's wearing that damn cherry blazer again.
She whipped out as soon as she saw that, I thought of you.
No, I
went,
said she's starting.
Imagine the hangover these women feel.
Everyone else went to go be fun and drunk and silly. Tamra, of course, stripped down to her knickers and then just danced around the room.
Even Tamra and Jenn are having fun.
Yeah.
And they go out on the balcony and they have kind of like a beautiful like Brit moment. Brit pop.
Just more like American pig behavior on the balcony, but at least it's like away from the fray, so they're not really harming anyone.
But Shannon comes in and Shannon's not there.
No. Then it cuts to Shannon. She's going.
It took her an entire night to take her shoes off. Tamra and Emily walk around outside and Tamra talks about how exhausting Shannon is as a friend. And then she says, I have to shit.
Yeah, they go
like,
get juice. And Emily's like, just be the bigger person. Like, can't you just let Shannon? She goes, I can't. I have to poop. And they run back to the hotel.
And then Shannon in her room, in her cherry blazer glory, waiting for her daughters, she tells Jenn that Jenn comes in to talk to her and she's like, I hope you're okay, like blah, blah, blah. And Shannon goes, Tamra shits all over you behind your back and about Ryan. And I have the proof.
And she shows Jenn a text from Tamra circa 2022.
Where she was like, my friend's going to do a background check on Ryan. Because they were like, he was just starting to date Jenn. And then she sent Shannon like a screenshot of a background check.
And this is unacceptable for Jenn. This is the straw that breaks the camel's back.
When Shannon takes out her glasses to comb through her messages with like size 42 font, I was like, damn, Shannon.
Shannon, you've got to get it together, sister. Sister, please.
Sister, please.
She's in the sister mode. I love you, girl, but you've got to get some contact lenses.
Remember last episode when she also found, I think Shannon has just figured out how to search text for like keywords.
Yeah.
And she loves it. Because remember last, she goes, that's the fucking smoking gun.
Shannon did just figure it out.
Yeah.
She goes, what? You can type in a keyword?
Yeah.
What? And then now she's all about receipts.
So Jenn, she goes,
Jen's had enough. Why Ayana?
She stomps and they follow her like as this like long march to the Londoner hotel, just going. She's muttering to herself.
She's in a place of muttering through the halls.
She storms into Heather and Tamra's suite as they're getting glam, and
I love you hear Tamra like no doubt talking shit about someone,
Yeah,
just being like, and they said they were married, and then blah blah blah. Like it's like Tamra telling another story.
Yeah.
But this is why I like Tamra is because she does talk shit about everyone.
she does, but she pretends she doesn't. But I do like that she's just fully just like a shit stirrer.
You can always count on Tamra to talk some shit with you.
And she sees Jenn and she goes, and then they were, they were doing that thing. I was like, holy shit.
And
Last
Jenn,
night when we were walking out of the movie, I was like talking about someone, and in LA you never know who, and then Lara repeated, not intentionally, but you were like trying to understand what I was saying, and you repeated what I said out loud with the person's name. And
I didn't understand.
No, I know, but I went,
I didn't even know who that person was.
I know, but I was like, I go, not near Lara.
Carey goes, no, please.
Well, you don't. But it was just.
But I was like, what? You're the one that's sitting in the crowd, being like saying something right about the movie.
I was quiet, but I loved you going, huh? What? What are you talking about? I go, shut the fuck up. What?
Well, don't whisper. You go.
No, it was
And I was like, what?
tactful.
And you go, no, don't stop. Don't say it out loud.
Because in LA, you never know.
Well, then don't say it in the
Well,
crowded
I said you
room.
quietly. But I love you going, huh? It was radical. You were being radically honest.
Girl, I had no idea whose
It was
name
late. It
you
was
were
late.
even
It was-
saying
it
was
was
so late.
midnight.
They put me through hell in that movie. I was hanging on by a thread.
You were like, I need to get out of here.
Yeah.
So Jenn
goes,
storms in and she goes,
You did a
Tamra.
background check on Ryan.
She goes, huh? She goes, I swear I didn't do a background check. I swear on my kids' lives. I
And I
go,
was like,
oh, that number one indicator that you're a
Classic
lying
liar move.
liar.
Then Jenn just starts screaming, which I was like, this is huge for her. Has she ever been pushed to the brim in this way?
No, and then Tamra starts clapping, that's troll behavior too. She goes, good, you found your voice. And then she goes, I did. She goes, I didn't do a background check. It was 2020. I did like when Tamra started laughing.
It was 2022. How are you going to get mad about something
Yeah.
from 2 years ago?
No, I know. And then she goes, well, what does Eddie do? Huh? Like, you're so curious about Ryan. What does Eddie do? And Tamra goes, he runs a multi-million-dollar business. And I went, name him.
Mm-hmm. Show
Name
me.
him.
I love, Jenn goes, why would you bring up the FBI? Why would you bring it? How dare you bring up the FBI? And Tamra goes, it's all over the internet.
Well, first Tamra, she tells Jenn to not raise her voice, and then cut to Tamra going, it's on the internet! Okay.
If your husband or boyfriend is on the FBI's watch list, like, Tamra's going to talk about it.
Yeah.
Period.
And then it just ends with her leaving, and then Heather going, that was interesting.
Jenn goes, fucking bitch. Heather goes, Jenn, come on. No, Jenn.
She gagged them.
She did.
Which I liked the chaos. I liked, even if Jenn doesn't really have a leg to stand on, I do like that she's like fully activated and finally is like giving us show.
Yeah.
And I've grown to like Jenn a lot.
She's going to need that female rage
Yeah.
to secure some more seasons.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if Ryan's going to be able to cough up the kind of dough that she needs in order to live the lifestyle to which she's accustomed.
It's to be continued.
Yeah.
More London. Hopefully they go to Stonehenge or something.
Maybe do one thing.
One thing of culture.
Mm-hmm. TBD.
Should
They
we-
are Orange County after all.
I'm Kim Richards pointing. Let's do a shout out to our girls.
Yeah.
One of the dolls, Teddy the Schnauzer and Tony Mango's Colt.
Alex Delisle.
Makeup Fresh.
Obviously.
Emily Baum.
Gina Sapienza.
Sarah Lizzie from Boston.
Lucy from London.
Brooke Johansson.
Lilia Farrell.
It's your girl BB.
Gerd, Queen of Brooklyn.
Brittany Weiss.
Danielle from the Brim.
Jessica Hernandez.
Malzatov Laws.
Mary.
Katie Solon.
Mike Earhart.
Sharon Baum, Realtor.
Timothy Shiel.
Matthew Thomas.
Elsie Robinson.
Cheeseburger Bay.
Kathy Viest.
Kit Moore.
Hillary from Chicago.
Orlando.
Patron of the Farts.
David from Switzerland.
Sedaris Nick.
Mr. Brandon.
Emily.
Kim Lucas.
Drew from Toronto.
Katie the Sup Lawyer.
RJ.
Modern Counseling, McLean, Virginia.
Jeffrey Pradama.
Guys, thank you so much.
Thank you. Buy tickets to our shows in December.
SexyUniquePodcast.com. Bye.